Do you want to share maybe some mistakes you've made in business? I think people could use that as well, and how you overcame those mistakes. It could be a good learning lesson for people who are starting up their businesses or trying to grow their business.
Mistakes that I've made, so many. And I remember once I got almost wiped out in business. I remember one of my friends, an older gentleman, who said to me, "Congratulations, you're now qualified to be successful because you've got to get wiped out at least once to." So I was almost, but anyway, I thought that was quite interesting because I think we learn from mistakes, and that's the main thing. When things are going well, we tend to not learn, because often they're going well, so we're okay, things are going well, don't really think about it, let's just keep doing what we're doing. But often we don't know why they're going well per se, we're just doing stuff. A lot of people get successful by luck. But when things go wrong, I think the first thing I say to people is make sure you really spend some time diagnosing exactly what went wrong. Because often a lot was going right, but it was only one small thing that went wrong. I'll give one sort of common example. A girl might date a guy who drives a red sports car. He turns out to be a real jerk, he treats her poorly, breaks her heart, and then she says, "I'm never dating a guy who drives a red sports car again." Now, obviously, the sports car has nothing to do with it. It's that individual, had obviously a personality trait or two that was unacceptable. But when things go wrong, we tend to make these broad brush, sort of passing conclusions that I'm not going to do that thing again. And that in itself only makes the failure worse because it then shifts your mindset to block out a whole heap of things that were actually working for you. So when things go wrong, I think that's really important. I think in business, from a leadership perspective, where things have gone wrong, it's really been with people and hiring the wrong people. It's what I call lazy recruitment. So lazy recruitment, we all know what a proper recruitment process is. A proper recruitment process is we would spend some time actually clearly defining the role and all the tasks that we want that person to do. Then we would go, okay, if we need the person to do these tasks, then we need them to have these qualifications, this experience, and these personal attributes. And the personal attributes are really important. And personal attributes are not only about to do the tasks, but they're also about where they're going to be a fit for your team and your culture. And so then you would advertise that job, you create a job ad, and you would promote that far and wide and get the maximum number of applicants so that you could be certain that the one person you do choose is in that very top 1% of all the applicants. So, I'm always like, I want at least 100 applicants for any job I advertise so that I know that the one person is the top 1%. And that all makes sense, right? And then you would interview them and you would probably do 2 or 3 interviews. You would check all their references. You would verify their qualifications. Then you would start them on probation. You would have one-on-ones with them at a more frequent basis when they first start. And that's a proper recruitment process. What most people do is not that. What most people do is hire their friends, their family, right? Or they hear of someone who needs a job, so they dream up a job for that person to do. And what it is lazy recruitment. And the reason why it's lazy, what they're actually doing is it's trust. So they think that because they're a friend or a family member or connected to someone who is, that they'll be able to trust that person to do a good job. When actually it's the opposite. Because what happens is those people who come in with some sort of social connection, they have an expectation that you're going to cut them some slack. Because you're a friend, you're not going to be so hard on them. Because they're family, you're not going to be hard on them. You're also going to be more tolerant of their bad behaviour and failure to perform. So lazy recruitment is probably the biggest mistake I've made. I'm ashamed to say that I've made it too many times, where I've not learned. And I would rather now hire a stranger properly than hire one of my close family and friends. Yeah, and unfortunately, and I do have I have a few friendships that are no longer exist because I hired those people. And then when they didn't do their job well, I had to sack them. Not only that ended the friendship as well. So.